生病的人，另外一个是那个人的照顾者。
When those two people transition back into spirit and have their life review, as we all do,
那当他们两位死后，然后回到灵界，就像我们每个人都会的，就是在灵界的时候，我们会有一个生命回顾。
they may have a sense of unbalanced energy around that relationship.
他们可能会觉得在他们的关系中有一个能量是不平衡的。
And if they do, they will be motivated to balance it.
那如果他们有这样的发现，他们会想要去平衡。
The easiest, simplest, and most direct way to do this is simply to switch roles.
那平衡这个能量呢，最简单跟最直接的方法就是互换角色。
So now the one who was physically ill plans the life challenge of caretaking.
所以呢，本来生病的这个人呢，现在就要变成照顾者。
And the one who was the caretaker plans the life challenge of illness.
那本来这个照顾者呢，他现在就扮演生病的人。
Now, what makes this so interesting and so challenging
那为什么他这么有趣又这么有挑战性呢？
is that when those two souls get into body, neither one of them will remember the pre-birth plan, just as most of us don't.
就是呢，当这两个人又回到身体里面，又回到人世间的时候，他们两个就已经喝了孟婆汤，什么都不记得。
So the challenge really becomes one of how do we give and receive love unconditionally in such very difficult circumstances?
所以那个挑战就是，当我们处在这么艰难的环境里面呢，我们怎么样去接受跟付出无条件的爱？
If you think of the flow of love in the world as a big circle,
如果你把世界上的爱的流动看成是一个大的循环圆圈，
if you cut that circle in half, half of the circle is giving love to other people.
那如果把那个循环切成一半，一半它就是关于付出爱。
And this is what we are all taught is a good thing to do, and we all believe is a good thing to do.
那这就是我们一直被教育说，这个付出是好的，我们应该付出。
But it's actually only half the circle.
但是它其实只是循环的一半。
The other half of that circle is receiving love from other people.
那个圈圈或循环的另外一半，就是从别人身上接受爱。
So if you are someone who does not allow others to give love to you,
所以，如果你是一个没有办法接受别人付出爱给你的人，
then you are blocking the flow of love in the world just as effectively as if you never give love to other people.
那你就在阻挡了这个爱的流动，就好像你没有去付出爱一样。
And this is particularly relevant, I think, to a caretaker situation.
那我觉得这个尤其是适用在这种照顾者的关系上。
Because in my view, it's incumbent upon the one who is ill to receive love from the caretaker.
因为通常我们会觉得是这个生病人是要依赖照顾者来从照顾者那边接受爱。
So this is reason number one for planning life challenges, balancing karma.
所以这是第一个主要为什么要制定出生前计划的原因，就是业力的平衡。
The second main reason I found in my research for planning life challenges before we're born is healing.
那第二个主要的原因就是疗愈。
But I'm not going to say too much about that right now because a little bit later I will read you part of a story that will explain this in detail.
那我现在先不讲太多，因为等一下我会念书中的一小段来解释这个疗愈的意思。
The third main reason I found for planning life challenges was a desire to be of service to others.
那第三个主要原因，根据我的研究所发现的，就是去服务他人。
In one form or another, and to one degree or another, the desire to be of service to others was present in literally every single pre-birth planning session we looked at.
在某种形式跟某种程度上，在我们所看的所有的出生前的会议，这个想要去服务他人的愿望都是存在的。
We heard souls talking to one another about the desire to serve each other
我们听见灵魂在讨论怎么样去服务他人，
and serve the earth
服务地球，
and serve humanity as a whole.
然后服务整个人类。
So this was reason number 3 for planning life challenges, the desire to be of service to each other.
所以这是第三个主要原因，就是服务他人。
The fourth main reason I found for planning life challenges,
那我发现的第四个主要原因，
and this is really the big one to my way of thinking,
那 对我而言，这真的是一个非常重大的原因。
is a desire to experience contrast.
就是想要体验对比。
And let me explain what I mean by this.
那我来解释一下。
The best way for me to explain this is to borrow an analogy from a book other than my own.
那最好的一个解释的方式就是去借另外一本书，不是我自己写的书的一个例子。
In one of the Conversation with God books by author Neil Donald Walsh,
在尼尔·donald walsh 的这个与神对话系列的一本书中，
this idea of experiencing contrast comes up.
那这个体验对比的这个概念有出现。
And God asked the author to explain it using the analogy of the white room.
然后神就让尼尔呢，透过一个白色的房间来比喻这个想要体验对比。
And the analogy goes like this.
那这个比喻就是，
Imagine that you are a white being in a white room.
想象你是一个白色的人，在一个白色的房间里。
So the ceiling is white.
所以天花板是白色的，
The floor is white.
地板也是白色的，
All the walls around you are
所
white.
有的墙壁都是白色的，
You are white.
你也是白色的。
Everything in this room is white, including you.
那这房间里的一切都是白色的，包括你在内。
Now, if you are such a being in such a room,
那如果你是这样的人，在这样子的房间里，
how do you know that you're white?
那你怎么知道你是白色的呢？
The answer is you don't.
答案是你不知道，
And in fact, you can't
而且你无法知道，
until you experience something that is other than white.
直到你体验非白，就是不是白色的东西。
Then, once you've had that experience,
那一旦你有那样的体验之后，
then you understand much more deeply what it means to be a white being.
那你就会更深刻的了解到底身为一个白色的人是什么意思。
This, I think, is what the soul is doing on the physical plane.
那我想，灵魂在这个物质界所在做的就是这样。
I shared with you earlier my own experience of my soul as unconditional love.
那我刚刚有分享我自己体验到我的灵魂就是无条件的爱。
And the non-physical realm, as I understand it, is very much as it's classically portrayed.
那我对于这个非物质界或是灵界的体验呢，是跟一般的经典所描述的非常的相像。
Which is to say, it's a realm of great love and light and peace and joy.
也就是呢，它是一个充满爱与光、跟平静、跟喜悦的世界。
So, if we are love,
所以，如果我们是爱，
and we are in a realm in which we experience only love,
然后我们又处在一个只有爱的体验的一个世界，
then we experience no contrast to ourselves.
那我们就体验不到对比。
Which in turn means that the soul doesn't fully understand or fully appreciate
这也就表示灵魂就没有办法完全了解或是完全的欣赏，
what it means to be made from the energy of unconditional love.
就是欣赏自己是这个纯粹的爱的能量。
So the soul comes here to the physical plane
所以灵魂呢，就来到物质界，
to experience what you could call not love. We would all agree there's a lot of not love on earth.
来体验什么？体验非爱。我们大概都可以同意，这个世界上有很多看起来是非爱、不是爱的东西。
Then at the end of a physical lifetime,
然后呢，在一生的最后，
because of the experience of the not love,
因为有这些非爱的体验，
when the soul returns to the other side, it has a much more profound knowing of what it means to be made from the energy of unconditional love.
那当这个灵魂回去的时候呢，他就有更多对于什么叫做从我自己是这个无条件的爱的这个事实，就是对这个事实有更多的体认。
The soul is like the white being in the white room.
所以灵魂就像是在白房间里面的白人一样。
The white being can't understand what it means to be white until it experiences not white.
那这个白色的人呢，直到他体验非白之前呢，他都没有办法去真的了解什么叫做白色。
And the soul doesn't fully understand what it means to be made from the energy of unconditional love until it experiences not love.
同样的，直到灵魂去体验到非爱之前呢，他都没有办法了解什么叫自己就是爱。
So this is the fourth major reason for planning life challenges before birth, the desire to experience contrast.
所以这是第4个为什么我们要制定出生前计划的原因。
The fifth and final reason I found in my research is correcting false beliefs or feelings about the self.
那第5个根据我的研究发现的原因就是去导正对于自己错误的信念或感觉。
Most people have had at least one past life, and usually many, in which certain things happened that caused them to believe things about themselves or feel certain ways about themselves that the soul knows are not true.
那很多人呢都曾经有过一世或者是很多世，是他发展出某些对自己不真实或是不正确的一些信念，是灵魂知道是不正确的。
Two of the most common false beliefs are a belief that one is powerless.
那2个最普遍的不正确的信念，第一个就是觉得自己是无力的。
And a belief that one is unworthy or perhaps even worthless.
第2个就是觉得自己不值得或者是无价值的。
If you have either of those beliefs somewhere in your consciousness,
如果你在你的意识中有这2种的任何一种，
even if they're at the subconscious or unconscious level,
即使它是在潜意识或是无意识的层次，
they will outpicture or manifest in the world around you.
它们就会显化在你的日常你的生活中。
Often in the form of very, very challenging or traumatic life events.
通常会显化为非常戏剧化或是非常创伤性的一些事件。
That's because the outer is always a reflection of the inner.
因为外在总是你内在的一面镜子。
This is really the purpose